Good morning, Longfellow families. I just wanted to take a moment and introduce myself. My name is Laura Conwell, and I am the new Longfellow principal this year. I am so excited to be part of the Longfellow community and to meet you all. As we all know, this year is going to look different at Longfellow for many reasons, but there are some things that we know will stay consistent, and one of those is that we are still a community, and we are going to continue to work together to make the best possible situation out of any circumstance. So we have had a lot of questions regarding the difference between the remote learning model and the blended model. So I wanted to take a moment today and just explain the two so that you can make an informed decision about your son or daughter and which track you would like them to start the school year in. So first of all, for our remote learning this year, it will look different than it did in the spring. In the spring, we were in more of a crisis mode and we were doing the best that we could with what we knew. We know a lot more now and we've gotten a lot better at remote learning. And so for remote learning, you will be expected to have synchronous or live learning as well as asynchronous learning or kind of independent learning on your computer or device. So for the live learning, synchronous learning, there will be assigned times that students will meet with their teacher at an in-person lesson. Those times will be outlined at the beginning of each week, so you can plan your week around those times. Then assignments will be added to our learning management system platform, and students will be able to do the assignments once the teacher opens them after the learning has occurred. So it will be different in that it'll be more paced out. So we can ensure that the student listens to the video or is in the live lesson prior to doing the work. There will be more of an expectation of time that the student is on their device. So for K2, that expectation will be students will be on their device for 2 to 4 hours per day. During that time, there'll be several breaks. They may be half an hour slots where a teacher is meeting directly with your child or small groups or as a whole group. Then some of that time will be used for the asynchronous learning where students are doing independent practice, are working through different apps, things like that. There will also be a paper pencil component for our K2 students. So teachers will give students a workbook and then they may watch a video or be part of the live lesson with the teacher and then complete the workbook pages. And so we can work on those fine motor skills and that they have a break from their devices. For our 3-5 students, there will be a higher expectation. Students will be on their computers for 3 to 5 hours per day with several breaks built in. The plan will be sent out on Monday, and students can expect several synchronous meeting times throughout the day and throughout the week. So those live lessons and live interactions with their teachers. During this remote learning, students will be all kind of in their own school with an administrator, Kale from Sacagawea Middle School, and he is in charge of the remote learning component. And then each student will have a teacher from anywhere in the district. And so there'll be a few second grade teachers from around the district and a few first grade teachers from around the district. So they're not guaranteed to have a teacher from Longfellow, but we will ensure that they're going to learn the same exact standards that they would learn at Longfellow so that if we transition back in and they decide they want to come back into a blended model or we get to a cohort model, there won't be any learning gaps and it will be a smooth transition back into the classroom. With that, if you do remote learning for the entire year, you are still guaranteed a spot at Longfellow the next year. So it doesn't mean that then you may go to any school. You're always guaranteed that spot at Longfellow, unless of course you decide to enroll in a private school or homeschool for a year, then you wouldn't be guaranteed that spot at Longfellow. So that's a little bit about remote learning. You can expect your school day for remote learning to start at 8:15. There will be an 8:15 to 8:30 a.m. check-in. That's how we will do attendance. And you can expect that day to run till 3:30 with different times and different meetings throughout the school day. If you have further questions on remote learning, please send me an email or give me a call, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. For the blended model, it will look a little bit different because we'll have more of that in-person time with your child. So depending on your last name, they will come to school either on Monday, Tuesday, or on Thursday and Friday. We have sent out emails explaining that if those days don't work for you, please fill out a form from Karen and we will try our best to make accommodations for your family. However, it's hard because we have to have very balanced classes and we want to make sure our classes are between 10 and 15 students, and so we can't support every request, but we're going to do our best to make it work for your family. We understand that you want to keep kids together in their pods, and so we're going to work with you on that piece the best that we can. So your child would come to school for 2 days a week in person and be in the building. With that, we will have some different health protocol restrictions or health protocol that we'll go through. There'll be hand washing that occurs often. We will teach hand washing procedures to our students. As they enter the building, they will hand wash. As we change to every special, they will hand wash. As we go to lunch, come to recess, all of those, we have put in hand washing protocols for those transitions. We will also be adding hand washing stations throughout our building, and so there'll be several spots for hand washing. We are asking each student to carry hand sanitizer on them, a small bottle of hand sanitizer, but we will also have plenty of hand sanitizer in our classrooms. We are asking each student to wear a mask to school every day. As they enter the building, they will have as they line up, they'll have their mask on. They'll enter the building with a mask. During the school day, we will take several mask breaks where we take students outside and give them a break from their mask and an opportunity to kind of get some fresh air. When they are playing outside, they will not need to wear their mask and they will be playing in their cohort or their small group of 10 from their class, and we have segregated our playground into different sections, and so we are trying to make sure they stay within that cohort of students. They will be able to go to specials. Our HE will be outside and they'll participate in health enhancement outside. We are working through music and all the logistics of music, but they will still be in music and in library. So you don't have to worry about that. And then on the days that they're not in our building, they will still engage in both synchronous and asynchronous learning, meaning that there will be live lessons that students can attend with their teacher or with our support staff, and there'll be activities and lessons they will be doing independently. If there are live lessons that they are not able to attend at the time of the lesson, every lesson will be recorded and students can do it at a later time. We will send out those plans at the beginning of the week so students understand the expectations for their days at home doing remote learning, and then we will add the additional assignments as the days come and after the live lesson happens. With blended learning, we will have small intervention groups running on Wednesdays, and we will work over the first couple weeks of school to determine which students need those intervention groups and what times they will run the intervention groups at. We still will be running some social skills groups on Wednesday remotely for students as well. I think those are the majority of the questions we've had regarding remote learning versus blended learning. At any point, when we transition from one model of learning to another model of learning, students are able to change which model they've signed up for. So for an example, if you start the school year in remote learning and then we are transitioned into a cohort model, you are able to transition your child into a cohort model at that time or at this semester. We will also be having Our lunch will be all sack lunches that are individually wrapped for students. We are asking students to have water bottles that are labeled. We will not have any drinking fountains. We will just use our individual water bottles. We are asking that students wear a mask every day and then have 3 to 5 masks available per week, just so that we are making sure to have proper mask hygiene. We are looking into purchasing clear masks for students and classes. So if there are some accommodations that would help your child, please contact me and we can work through the logistics of each accommodation. We are happy to help and support you through this time. Give me a call, call Karen, email us, let us know how we can support you and your child through this change. Also, we will be having a sneak peek coming up. The LPIA will be organizing a Zoom question answer forum in the next coming couple of weeks, and we will have a kindergarten orientation in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned, read your emails, and we will give you all of that information. Thank you and have a great weekend.